Hello everyone, this is Joe Cusack and welcome to today's coding lesson. Before we jump into the program, make sure you can access the cyber range and that you know how to run Python 3 inside of it. Remember, the cyber range doesn't permanently save files. Always type your code in the Google Doc first and copy and paste it into the cyber range when you are ready to run it. Let's start with today's program, Rock, Paper, Scissors, best 3 out of 5. Let's go ahead and do the walkthrough. So the first thing we have is that we're going to import random because we're going to use the random function which is available in Python. So the rules are, this rock, paper, scissors is rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock. First player to win 3 rounds wins the match. This is called best 3 out of 5. So the first order of business is we have to create a list. And in this list, we're going to put rock, paper, scissors. And if you want to be entertaining, maybe you could have nuclear explosion or something, nuclear, to add to this if you can figure that out. Then we'll have 2 variables called player score, computer score. Variable to track which round the game is on. So right now we're going to go ahead and start with round 1. Then I'm going to go ahead and print a title. And here's the 4 print statements. And then I want to have a while statement, so it's going to be the main game loop while player score is less than 3 and computer score is less than 3. You display the current round number. One of the things I do want to point out, and one of the single biggest mistakes that new programmers make, is that they don't space out the indentation correctly. Never use a tab, use a space bar. And that will be the most common mistakes you'll make. So then I go ahead and I print the scores for both of them. Then I ask the player for their choice. So the input is where I get the text on, whether they say rock, paper, scissors. Then I move any extra spaces, and then I convert the input to lowercase. So the dot strip removes the extra spaces, and everything's lowercase for consistency. If the player wants to quit, he can type quit, and it immediately breaks from the program. Then it says if player is not in choices. So if it's not one of our choices, and remember where we set our choices. Choices got set up here. If it's not rock, paper, scissors, then it's going to say invalid, and it's going to go back and ask again. The computer is going to do a random choice based on the choices which we listed up there. Then we print you choose, saying whatever you chose, and then the computer chose this. And then you determine the winner of the round. So if the player and the computer, it's a tie, which means it doesn't do anything at all. Case 2, the player wins on the game rules. So if the player equals rock, the computer equals scissors, then the rock crushes the scissors. If the player plays paper, the computer plays rock, it covers the rock. And then the scissors for the player and the computer for the paper means the scissors cut the paper. If none of these conditions are true, then we're going to say the computer wins this round. And then I increase the computer score by 1. I did forget to mention that you get a little sparkly thing, you win. And then also you get your player score increased by 1. Then you move to the next round. This code only runs if somebody reaches 3 wins. So if the player score equals 3 or the computer score equals 3, then you say match over, determine the overall winner. And if the player score is greater than the computer score, congratulations, you won 3 out of 5. Else, print the computer won 3 out of 5. Try again. That concludes the video presentation.